Hokage get burning art at the start. Chapter 121-140. Chapter 121 Hanging Deidara and Sasori. That, you quickly put out the flames of the lake below, so as not to damage the environment. In order to ease the awkward atmosphere, Kazama immediately changed the topic. As ordered. The Huo slave, who was transformed into Yuhi's lotus fire, waved his hand gently, and all the strange fires in the lake below were extinguished. If there is no other order, this seat will retreat first, and when the master is in danger, this seat will appear. Huo Nu didn't wait for Fengjian to speak, and immediately turned into a ray of flame and returned to Fengyan's body. The appearance is so coquettish, but the personality is like an iceberg, and she actually calls herself this seat, which is simply sacred and inviolable. Those who don't know it think she is my master. Seeing Yuhi's lotus fire returning to his body, Kazama immediately wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. The 8th-ranked Yuhi lotus karmic fire is so powerful. I don't know how powerful the 7th and 6th supernatural fires can be. While thinking about it, Kazama used the cold fire of the bone spirit to freeze the unconscious Mitsuha Iso into an ice sculpture. Ready to bring back to his Otogakur village is a tailed beast of his own village. After all, the ninja villages of these 5 countries have their own tailed beasts. One's own Otogakur village. You bastard! How dare you deceive us and occupy the 3 tails alone? Deidara and Sasori, who saw through Kazama's Mokudan, wood-style clone, finally arrived here. But when they saw that the entire lake had dried up to the bottom, they immediately looked at each other. Because they have never seen someone who can cause such a battle scene. What a terrible battle is going on here. Deidara and Sasori were terrified just thinking about it. Just when the two were shocked, they suddenly saw Sano Isofuke, who was frozen into an ice sculpture by the cold fire of the bone spirit. Terrified Deidara almost fell off his big bird. You kid, actually. At this time, Sasori also exclaimed in disbelief. Thankfully Sasori was a puppet, otherwise he would have been as dumbfounded as Deidara. Although the two of them have long known that Kazama is powerful and different from ordinary ninjas. After all, they have never fought between Hefeng, so they always thought that the rumors about the wind were exaggerated. But now, when they saw with their own eyes Kazama's feat of turning the 3 tails into an ice sculpture by himself. Only then did they know that all the rumors about the wind were true. Come on. Next, I will control you, the strongest demonic illusion Koto Amatsukami, so that you can be used by me. Thinking of this, Kazama immediately looked at Deidara and Sasori with a smile. He thought that since he could cast Koto Amatsukami an unlimited number of times, Deidara and Sasori, it would be better to bring them under his command. This will not only provide him with information on Akatsuki, but also allow them to join his Otogakur village in the future. So Kazama prepared to control the actions of the two of them first, and then cast the strongest demonic illusion Koto Amatsukami on them. Deidara, my art of freezing the 3 tails into ice sculptures looks pretty good. Humph. Boy, don't think that I can't do anything to you if you restrain the 3 tails. Let's see what real art is. C4 Garuda. Deidara knows that Kazama is not easy to deal with, so the first shot is the killer. Pity that Deidara's Bakudan explosion style is powerful, but in front of Kazama's Raiden thunder style master, all of Deidara's attacks are ineffective. Therefore, as soon as Deidara's C4 Garuda took shape, it was torn apart by the 9 dragons of the wind. But Deidara didn't know that these 9 fire dragons also contained this top Raiden thunder style. So he immediately laughed in the wind. Haha, it's better to be famous when you meet me, my C4 Garuda. I'm not afraid of your attack, I'm afraid that you won't attack. The harder you attack, the more powerful it will explode after it explodes. Explode. With Deidara's roar, there was no explosion that he expected, but instead a dead silence. Chapter 122 Control Sasori and Deidara with Koto Amatsukami. What the hell is going on here? Idiot. This kid has Raiden thunder style in his tricks, you are restrained by him. was Sasori, who was superior, and immediately saw that the 9 fire dragons in the wind had another mystery. Damn, you bastard, how dare you destroy my art? Just when Deidara was out of breath, ready to attack Kazama again. Kazama has surrounded Deidara in the air with the 9 dragon thunder gang fire. My Raiden thunder style is just overpowering your Bakuden explosion style, so just rest on the side. Don't be too arrogant, kid, although you can trap me, you definitely can't trap Sasori. Big brother Sasori, kill this kid quickly. Juyu Fengyan. Hearing Deidara's clamor, Kazama smiled coldly, and immediately cast this invisible flame at Sasori in the distance. Because the Kazama was moving too fast, Sasori didn't know what was going on, and his Fei Liuhu was burned into nothingness. Sasori was startled, he was about to fight back, but he was invaded by the 9 secluded winds of the wind, restricting his activities. Just a few moments, Sasori and Deidara were caught in the wind at the same time. Sasori, in particular, didn't even have the chance to resist. Brother Sasori, I said that you are too weak, and you were trapped by this little bastard in the wind. Deidara, who was surrounded by Kowloon Thunder Gang fire, had expected Sasori to rescue him. Now that Sasori was also trapped, he was so angry that he wanted to cry without tears. You really have 2 strokes. You are so clear about my body structure. Sasori, who was trapped by Juyu Fengyan, seemed extremely angry. Originally, he wanted to fight with Fengjan for 3,000 rounds to see what skills Fengjan had. But now, before he could make a move, he was restrained by the wind. Because I know your body structure very well, I will use demonic illusion to control you next. Ha ha. Hearing Kazama's words, Sasori immediately burst out laughing. Want to use demonic illusion against me? It's just a fool's dream. Now I'm full of puppets, and I'm not afraid of your demonic illusion. Koto Amatsukami. Before Sasori could finish speaking, Kazama immediately cast the strongest demonic illusion on him. Although you are a puppet, your optic nerve is still connected to your heart, so you absolutely cannot avoid my demonic illusion. Surrender to me, Sasori. As ordered. As Kazama said, although Sasori's body is a puppet, his heart is real. Demonic illusion to attack the heart through his optic nerve, it will still make him hit his own demonic illusion. Next is Deidara. Kazama said, and let the 9 dragons of thunder and fire bring Deidara to him. What's wrong with you, Sasori-san? Why didn't you attack Kazama? Seeing that Sasori was straight behind Kazama, but there was no movement, Deidara was immediately puzzled. I have surrendered to Kazama-sama. What? Hearing Sasori's words, Deidara nearly collapsed to the ground in shock. I said, big brother Sasori, are you kidding me? You're a puppet, how could a puppet get into demonic illusion? He's not crazy, and now it's not him that you should be concerned about, but yourself. Hearing Kazama's words, I saw the pair of Mangekyo Sharingan in Kazama again. Deidara was so frightened that she hurriedly closed her eyes. Yugai has the same eyes as Itachi, but your Sharingan is powerful, but as long as you don't look at you, you can't do anything to me. Haha, if you have the ability to kill me, I will not surrender to you. Quote. It's too late. The moment you looked at me just now, I already cast the strongest demonic illusion, Koto Amatsukami. Impossible. Submit me, Deidara. As ordered. Deidara, who had resisted fiercely just a second ago, now became obedient after hearing these words from Kazama. Chapter 123. Get ready to control the entire Akatsuki with Koto Amatsukami. The 2 of you will continue to stay in Akatsuki in the future, inquire about the news for me, and notify me as soon as there is any action to capture the tailed beast. No problem. Deidara and Sasori didn't hesitate at all about Kazama's orders, and nodded hurriedly. Kazama was very happy to see that he had subdued the 2 members of Akatsuki without bloodshed. Now the Itachi in Akatsuki has cooperated with Hefeng. And Deidara and Sasori fell in love with Koto Amatsukami and surrendered to Kazama. Addition, Kakuzu and Hidan were killed by Kazama, and only Oni, Black Zetsu, and Nagato Konan are left. Akatsuki, who seems to be strong and monolithic, is actually more than half of Kazama's people. Black Zetsu, the mastermind behind the scenes, knew about this. He would probably vomit blood on the spot. And Kazama is going to find an opportunity next. Let Itachi lead the ghost shark to his side and control him with the technique of the gods. Then he was infiltrating the country of rain, explaining the situation to Nagato and Konan, and sabotaging Black Zetsu's conspiracy. This guy Obito hasn't shown up for now, so he can only let him go for a while, but when he meets Obito in the future, he must find a way to help him get rid of Black Zetsu's use. After all, Obito is also being used by Black Zetsu and Black Zetsu. Bewitched by Uchiha Madara, you will fall into darkness. Quote. Lord Kazama. Just when Kazama made a secret plan, Deidara and Sasori immediately said to Kazama. The task Akatsuki gave us now is to let us capture the three tails. Now you have frozen the three tails. If we can't complete the task, I am afraid Akatsuki will become suspicious of us, and we will not be able to continue to hide in the future to help you explore Akatsuki's secrets. Don't worry about this. Hearing Deidara and Sasori's concerns, Kazama immediately cast a Mokudan wood-style clone, turning it into the appearance of three tails. This is. When I see a clone of Kazama, I can actually turn into Isofukmyo. Deidara and Sasori couldn't help being taken aback, and they felt that Kazama's strength was unfathomable. This clone contains half of the power of the three tails. After Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, absorbs it, it will still open its eyes normally. At that time, the fake three tails will disappear directly, and there is no clue at all. You can don't worry. Okay, then we can go back to our lives. If that's the case, let's retire first. Seeing Deidara and Sasori leave, Kazama immediately prepares to bring the frozen Mitsuha to Otogakure village using the technique of Hiraishin. Yuhilian, who had helped him and summoned the three tails, had disappeared. So Kazama hurriedly opened the Mangekyo Sharingan, only to find the two comatose in the distance. Kazama thought that the two of them were knocked unconscious by the battle between him and Sanwei. But when they woke up, Fengjian realized that the two of them had seen their own power against the sky. So he was so shocked that he passed out, which suddenly made Fengji feel a little dumbfounded. Lord Fengjian, why is this lake so dry? After waking up, Yugyuan was shocked to see that the lake, which was originally rippling with blue waves, had not even a drop of water now. Because of my previous battle with Sanwei, this lake was evaporated by flames. What a powerful Kaiden fire style to be able to evaporate the water of the entire lake. I say Kazama-sama, you really amaze us. Yuhi Lien said and gave a thumbs up to the wind. And Yukimaru felt very sorry for this dry lake. It would be great if the lake water could be restored to the way it was before. Kazama-sama, what can you do? Yukimaru, Lord Kazama is still a man no matter how powerful he is, and he is not a god. How could such a large lake be refilled with water? Don't think about it. At this time Kazama didn't speak, but Yuhi Lianchang Yukimaru shook his head. Yukimaru is right. It's a pity that such a large lake has dried up like this, and this incident is also caused by me. If this is the case, then I will restore this lake to its original state. What? Hearing Kazama's words, Yuhi Lien hurriedly shook her head to stop it. Kazuma-sama, you can see clearly, this lake covers an area of hundreds of miles. Even if 100 ninjas perform Suiten water style at the same time, that's a drop in the bucket. How can you do it alone? And even if you can restore this place to its original state, and the chakra in your body cannot support you to cast such a powerful Suiten water style. Quote. Anything is possible for me, Mokudan wood style multiplex. Kazama said, and around the lake, he cast a full 10,000 Mokudan wood style clones. Suiten water style tsunami technique. Then the 10,000 Mokudan wood style clones cast a powerful Suiten water style on the dry lake at the same time. I saw this lake, which was dry to the bottom in the last second, with the 10,000 Sweden water-style clones of Mokuden wood-style in the wind. In the next second, it really turned into blue waves again, which was even more beautiful than the previous lake scenery. It's amazing, Kazami-sama, you can really shock me anytime, anywhere. Seeing that Kazama really has the ability to turn a mulberry field into a sea, Yuhi-Lien admires Kazama at this time. Chapter 124 Keeping a Three-Tailed Pet. The two of you also come back to Otogakure village with me. Really? Are you really willing to take us in, my lord? Hearing Kazama's words, both Yuhirin and Yukimura were extremely happy. Because the stronghold where they were before was desolate, there was nothing, and even eating was a problem. Now that Kazama wants to lead them to Otogakure village, they naturally agree with 10,000 people. But the three tails are so big, I'm afraid we can't take them with us. Looking at the three tails frozen into an ice sculpture, Yuhirin and Yukimura felt embarrassed. And even if we can take it away, it will be coveted by other ninja villages along the way. If you can't take it away, then let Sanwei fly away with us. Fly away. How to fly? Put your hand on me. Kazama said that and cast the technique of Hiraishin. Yuhirin and Yukimura were still wondering, and the next moment, Kazama and Sano were taken to a forest outside Otogakure village. Arrived. Hearing Kazama's voice, both Yuhirin and Yukimura looked at each other. As this time space ninjutsu. It's too fast. Speed of Hiraishin in Kazama, Yuhirin and Yukimura didn't react at all. Fortunately, the two of them had already seen Kazama's powerful strength, otherwise they would have been too shocked and fainted again at this moment. Alas, everything in this Otogakure village is good, except that there are no tailed beasts, which is really a fly in the ointment. At this time, some newcomers who came to Otogakure village had nothing to do, so they chatted with each other. Yeah, look at the ninja villages in the 5 kingdoms. Every one has a tailed beast. There are even 2-tailed and 8-tailed beasts in Kumogakure village. In comparison, our Otogakure village is really too shabby. If we fight other ninja villages in the future, wouldn't it be a big loss for our Otogakure village to have no tail beasts? Why is it cloudy? Is it going to rain? I rely on. Just as everyone in Otogakure village was chatting, they suddenly felt a large dark cloud appearing above their heads. Everyone looked up, and the voices of me leaning on could be heard incessantly. It turned out that this large shadow was not a dark cloud, but the huge body of Isofumio. It's a tailed beast. Run! Otogakure village, which was still bustling just now, with the sudden appearance of the 3 tails, everyone was frightened and rushed to flee. Damn it! Why did the 3 tails appear in Otogakure village? Orochimaru and the others were also shocked when they saw it. I heard before that Kazama-sama was going to subdue Mitsuha. Could it be that he failed to subdue and was killed by Mio to our Otogakure village? No way, does a tailed beast have such a high level of intelligence? Will it come to seek revenge? No matter what, in short, we must work together now to resist the invasion of the 3 tails. Orochimaru, Kimimaro, Zabuzin, Shiro, and others will immediately use their unique moves to defend against the 3 tails. At this moment, a figure jumped down from Sanwei's back and appeared in front of everyone. Lord Kazama. Seeing that the person who came was actually Kazama Sanada, Orochimaru and the others were both surprised and delighted. Lord Kazama, we thought you were killed by Sanwei just now. Don't worry, how could Sanwei kill me, and I brought Sanwei back, and Sanwei will be the tailed beast of our Otogakure village in the future. What? Are there tailed beasts in our Otogakure village? Hearing Fengyan's words, all the onlookers were shocked. The last second they thought that Otogakure village had no tailed beasts, which seemed too shabby. In the next moment, the 3 tails had become the exclusive tailed beast of Otogakure village, and everyone felt that happiness came too suddenly. Chapter 125 I met a few who were not afraid of death. Because everyone was attracted by Sano, they didn't notice Sanada Kazama who brought Sano. With the amazement of Mitsuha, everyone thought it was Mitsuha captured by Orochimaru. So everyone kept congratulating Orochimaru, which immediately embarrassed Orochimaru. Lord Kazama, everyone thought that I was the hero who caught Sanwei, so I will explain the situation to everyone, and by the way, I will also tell them that you are the real leader of Otogakur village. No. The wind immediately smiled and shook his head. I don't have the energy to manage the village yet, so you are still the leader of Otogakur village, and don't explain my identity to everyone. Our Otogakur village has 3 tails, and don't let everyone leak it out, so as not to cause unnecessary trouble. Well then. Hearing Kazama's words, Orochimaru naturally had no objection. And the reason why Kazama didn't want to let everyone know that he was the real leader of Otogakur village. First of all, he doesn't stay in Otogakur village very often. If everyone thinks they are the masters, they probably won't obey Orochimaru's management. Second, Kazama thought that instead of revealing his identity as the head of Otogakur village, he might as well continue to hide it. Playing as a pig and eating a tiger has always been Funyun's principle of life. Although Funyun's current strength can completely run rampant in the 5 major countries, there are people outside people, so it is necessary to guard against it. By the way, Yuhirin and Yukimaru will also live in Otogakur village in the future, you have to take care of them. No problem, Kazami-sama, don't worry, I'll do it. As Orochimaru spoke, he kept smiling at Yuhirin and Yukimaru. Master Orochimaru. Hearing the names Yuhirin and Yukimaru addressed to him, Orochimaru hurriedly waved his hands and said he didn't dare. Ni, just call me Orochimaru, I have offended you before, Ni must forgive me. Orochimaru knew that Yuhirin and Yukimaru helped Kazama subdue Sanwei. Now that the 2 of them are Yuhi people by Kazama's side, of course he doesn't dare to neglect them. As for Yuhirin and Yukimaru, it was the first time they saw Orochimaru like this. In their previous impressions, Orochimaru was vicious and vicious. Now in front of Kazama, Orochimaru seems to have changed. This had to make Yuhilien and Yukimaru admire Kazama's leadership. As the villa I built before. Find 2 for Yuhirin and Yukimaru to live in. I'm very sorry, Kazama-sama, because our Otogakur village was overcrowded and the houses were all divided, so. Orochimaru did not lie. With the increase in the number of people in Otogakur village today. Mokuden wood style before Kazama is really not enough. There are even many ninjas and commoners living on the streets, waiting for craftsmen to build houses. Lord Kazama, you don't have to worry about it, you can let us live in Otogakur village, we are already grateful, how dare we live in a villa. Yeah, and building a house can't be done in a day, we just wait. It's a matter of minutes to build a house, do you still need to wait? As the wind spoke, he came to an open space. Lord Kazama, you're not going to build a house now, are you? Seeing Kazama's current behavior, Yuhirin and Yukimaru were greatly puzzled. Just look at it, Kazama's artificial house technology is top-notch in the ninja world. Really, Lord Kazama still builds houses. Hearing Orochimaru's words, Yuhirin and Yukimaru were quite curious. Mokuden wood style even Jinchuriki column house. With Kazama's Mokuden wood style ninjutsu, hundreds of wooden houses are instantly formed. Hundreds of houses appeared in front of everyone in this way, which naturally caused bursts of amazement. At this time, everyone was talking about how sacred the wind was, and it was so awesome. And Yukimaru saw Kazama and built hundreds of houses at once, they were dizzy and slumped on the ground. Okay, kid, you are quite capable. Pick 10 houses for me, and I want them. At this moment, several pot-bellied and arrogant ninjas came over immediately. Choose 20 buildings for me, I have many relatives. After a while, these hundreds of houses were occupied by them, and each of them was occupied as it should. This suddenly made Feng Jian's face become extremely gloomy. Chapter 126 Make me punch you in the face. Who are they? Seeing these pot-bellied ninjas dare to blatantly occupy the house they built. The wind was instantly furious. Lord Kazama, it's like this. Seeing Kazama getting angry, Orochimaru immediately pulled Kazama aside. Quote. Didn't you tell me earlier? Let's start a ninja school in Otogakur village according to the method of Konoha. Yeah, what does this have to do with them? These people are ninja teachers we recruited from some other small countries. You also know that our Otogakur village has just been established and has a lot of affairs. Zaibushin, Kimimaro, Bai, and others are all busy and unable to teach. That's why they paid a high price to invite them. But I see that these people are obviously here to take advantage of my Otogakur village, can't you notice it? Kazama said and looked at the pot-bellied ninjas again. Although these ninja teachers are not very strong, the master's ninja skills are relatively comprehensive, and all the basic ninjutsu such as wind, thunder, water, fire and soil will naturally become a bit arrogant, but if they are driven away, our ninja school can no one will teach students master ninjutsu anymore. Don't worry, I have a way. Now you can let these people go as far as you want. As ordered. Orochimaru never dared to disobey Kazama's orders, so he immediately explained the situation to these people. But who knows that these pot-bellied ninjas are not strong enough, and their tempers are not small. As soon as he heard Orochimaru told them to pack up and leave, they blew up. Damn, we are well-known ninja teachers. The students we teach are not 10,000 or 8,000. How dare you look down on us? If it wasn't for your Otogakur village begging us before, we wouldn't be willing to come. All the students under our command can have other cage-level strengths. You dare to let us go, eat shit. Kazama originally thought that these ninja teachers might have some skills. But now, when they hear that they are unhappy, they yell at them, and even dare to say that each of the students they teach has other strengths in cage level. Fengjian immediately knew that in all likelihood, these people would only speak big words and would not do practical things. So Kazama immediately walked up to these ninjas with a sneer. Let me tell you, join our Otogakur village sincerely and be willing to serve our Otogakur village. We are very welcome, but I will never allow anyone who wants to come to our Otogakur village to take advantage of it. What the hell are you? How dare you say that you won't allow it? What right do you have to talk to us, you stinky little bastard? What did you say? Seeing that these ninjas dared to curse at Kazama, Orochimaru, Kimimaro, Zaibushin, Shiro, and the others suddenly burst into flames. If Kazami hadn't stopped them in time, I'm afraid these ninjas would have been killed on the spot. What are you doing? If you dare to take action against us, who will dare to come to your ninja school in the future? Yes, if there is no teacher, I will see how the students of your ninja school master ninjutsu. Humph. Without you ninja teachers, wouldn't our ninja school be able to go on? Bullshit. These people scolded the wind again. You don't even have a special teacher, what kind of students are you teaching? Although I don't have a teacher, I have something that can replace you teachers. Kazama said Doden, Earth style, and built 8 towers. It also injected a total of 8 kinds of different fires, namely, Wind Fury Dragon Flame, Volcanic Stone Flame, Fire Cloud Water Flame, 9 Dragon Thunder Gang, Huozan Wangyan, Myriad Beast Spirit Fire, Yin Yang Double Flame, and Nether Poisonous Fire. Chapter 127 Slap in the Face with My Strange Fire. Little devil, why do you want to teach your students to build towers? Do you want all the students in your Otogakur village to learn to build houses? Building a house is good, it has a future, haha. Just be quiet for me. The wind blows these people to the ground. Remember, killing you guys would have solved the problem, but since you dare to look down on my Otogakur village, then I'll make you grow eyes today. Wind Fury Dragon Flame Pagoda, 9 Dragons Thunder Gang Pagoda, Huiyan Shuiyan Pagoda, Volcanic Stone Flame Pagoda, Xuanwangyan Pagoda. These 5 pagodas represent the 5 properties of wind, thunder, water, fire, and earth, and the chakra attributes the corresponding ninjas can enter these 5 pagodas to practice, and the strange fire in these 5 pagodas can greatly improve your chakra attributes, which can be said to be twice the result with half the effort. Quote. Kazama said and pointed to the other 3 towers. If any of you want to become a medical ninja, a beast-controlling ninja, or a poison master, you can enter the 3 corresponding yin-yang twin flame towers, 10,000 beast spirit fire tower and nether poison fire tower. The longer you practice in the corresponding pagoda, the faster your strength will grow. Is it true? If this is true, wouldn't our cultivation be able to leap forward? Hearing Feng Yin's introduction to the 8 pagodas, everyone immediately became interested, and everyone wanted to go in and find out. Humph. It's so hilarious, but it's a pity that it doesn't work. I said I could be a 6 paths fairy if I could just say it with my mouth. The ninja teachers who were knocked to the ground by Kazama sang the opposite tune again. Although they know that the wind is strong and powerful, it is not easy to mess with. But they thought that in the crowd, Fengjian didn't dare to do anything to them. So I wanted to take the opportunity to dismantle the platform, so as to express my anger in my heart. After hearing the words of these ninja teachers, everyone could not help but doubt the ability of these 8 pagodas. After all, they have never seen such a magical thing in other ninja villages, and naturally they will be suspicious. It doesn't matter, since you don't believe it, then you can enter the corresponding pagoda now. As long as you enter, you will know that what I said is true. Don't go in. If you go in and get burned to death by fire, wouldn't it be a waste of your life? I'm in. Seeing that these people always sing the opposite of the wind, Yukimaru immediately glared at them angrily. Then he walked into the Huiyan Shuiyan Tower, which can improve the water attribute chakra. Hee, idiot, there are still people actively seeking death. After seeing Yukimaru entering, those people laughed again. Wait to collect her body. Sweden, water style, wild water wave. Quote. Just a few moments after Yukimaru entered, he realized the technique of Sweden, water style, wild water wave. Immediately afterwards, he performed this technique, knocking the ninjas who were mocking him to the ground. Although this Sweden, water style, wild water wave is just the most basic Sweden, water style, ninjutsu. But this is a qualitative improvement for Yukimaru, who didn't know any skills at the beginning. How is this possible? The ninjas who were knocked to the ground by Yukimaru were shocked and angry, and immediately got up to fight back. It's a pity that he was knocked to the ground again by the wind before he could do it. After seeing it, Orochimaru grabbed them directly and waited for the wind to fall. At this time, everyone saw that Yugiwin entered within a few seconds, and their strength was greatly increased. Naturally, I believe what Fengjian said is true, these 8 pagodas are indeed very magical. Therefore, the people who only dared to watch from the outside just now rushed into the 8 pagodas in a swarm. Chapter 128 Transform into Four Tails Monkey King. Taken to a hidden place by Kazama and Orochimaru. They were arrogant just now. At this moment, he was so frightened that he fell out in cold sweat, and his whole body was shaking like chaff. With a plop, they all knelt down in front of Fengjian, kowtowing to Fengjian and begging for mercy. Look into my eyes. Kazama ignored these people's pleas for mercy, and immediately cast Tsukuyomi on them. It didn't take long for their true identities to be revealed. It turns out that these so-called ninja teachers are actually countless uneducated people from some small countries around them. Relying on their own ninjutsu skills, they often do some tricks and kidnappings and rob their homes. After being expelled from his own country, he heard that the village of Otogakur was recruiting ninja teachers. That's why I came to Imposter and wanted to make up for it, typically occupying the dungeon and not shitting. How could Kazama allow these people to take advantage of his Otogakur village, so he immediately beat these people to crippled. And let Orochimaru imprison them in the prison of Otogakur village. Orochimaru. Subordinates are here. Remember, in the future, whenever there are ninjas like these, they won't contribute to our Otogakur village, just want to come to our Otogakur village to take advantage, and they will all be thrown away. We only recruit people with lofty ideals, not stinky fish. Rotten shrimp. Don't worry, Kazama-sama, I was negligent this time, and I will never let this kind of garbage come to our Otogakur village in the future. Our Otogakur village is now fully equipped and has 10 pagodas that can improve our strength. These are not found in other ninja villages. Therefore, those who want to join our Otogakur village in the future must pass the assessment, and even if they have already joined our Otogakur village. Yes, it must be assessed every year, and those who do not meet the standard will be sent away. Quote, as ordered, I will definitely train the ninjas of Otogakur village to be good at fighting, and I will never fail your trust in Kazama-sama. By the way, Orochimaru, will you seal the tailed beast? The seal-tailed beast. Not bad. The 3 tails I brought back are in a wild state now. Because there is no one with Jinchuriki column power, they are not strong, and they will go berserk at any time. So I want to seal the 3 tails in the human body. Are you going to be Jinchuriki column force of the 3-tailed man? Hearing Orochimaru's question, Kazama immediately smiled and shook his head. Kazama's current strength has already surpassed the 3 tails, and it would be a waste to seal the 3 tails in his body. I plan to make Yukimaru a 3-tailed Jinchuriki column force. He has a special physique and has the ability to summon 3 tails, so it is most suitable for him to be. Lord Kazama, I know some ways to seal tailed beasts, but my master's sealing technique is not authentic. If you want to successfully seal the 3 tails, you must have the power of a tailed beast higher than the 3 tails to suppress them. At the very least, the power of the 4 tails must be possessed to make the 3 tails surrender, otherwise not only will the sealing technique fail, but the force of the Jinchuriki column will die instantly. Do you want to suppress it with the power of the 4 tails? Not bad. But there is no news from the 4-tailed Jinchuriki column force. Even if there is news, it is estimated that he will not help us. Therefore, it is even more difficult to seal the 3-tailed producer Jinchuriki column force. Orochimaru sighed as he spoke. How difficult is this? The mere strength of the 4 tails, I will give it to you. What? Lord Kazama, this kind of thing can't be laughed at. Hearing Kazama say that he has the power of 4 tails, Orochimaru immediately expressed his disbelief. Although he knew that Kazama was strong, but Kazami was not the Jinchuriki column force of the 4-tailed person, how could he have the power of the 4-tailed? Lord Kazama, I remember that you went to capture the 3 tails before. If you said that you have the power of the 3 tails, I may believe it, but you can say that you have the power of the 4 tails, I absolutely don't. I rely on it. Just when Orochimaru didn't believe the left sentence and the right sentence. Kazama has already exerted the power of the 4 tails and turned into the body of the 4-tailed Monkey King. Chapter 129 Save Kakashi in 1 second. This is the 4 tails. Seeing that Kazama really turned into a 4-tailed body, even the well-informed Orochimaru couldn't help but be stunned. He thought that Kazama was joking when he said that he had the power of the 4 tails. But now it seems that the wind is not joking, but that he is too ignorant. What he thinks is impossible, in front of the wind, everything is possible. Next, I will ask Yukimaru to see if he is willing to become a 3-tailed Jinchuriki column force. As soon as the wind spoke, he returned to his original appearance. I do. When Kazama told Yukimaru about the 3-tailed Jinchuriki column power, Yukimaru agreed without hesitation, which was somewhat unexpected. Because becoming a human Jinchuriki column power can make one's own strength grow. But it is also accompanied by the danger of life, so generally few people are willing to become human Jinchuriki column force. Yukimaru, have you really made up your mind? Although I hope you can become a weapon in our Otogakur village, if you don't agree, I will never force it. Kazuma-sama, you have been worrying too much. I know that it is a very dangerous thing to become a human Jinchuriki column force, but I also hope that I can have the strength to protect everyone and do my part for our Otogakur village. Okay, you can rest assured, Yukimaru, I will never put your life in danger. Then Orochimaru began to seal Mio Isofu. At the right moment, Kazama reincarnates into the 4 tails again, in order to deter the 3 tails. It became very easy for the producer Jinchuriki column to seal the 3 tails this time. And after the event, Kazama also injected a strange fire into the body of the ghost pill, in order to shock the three tails. In this way, Sanwei will no longer attack Yukimaru. Yukimaru, because the Mitsuya Isofu in your body is of the water attribute, so from now on you can concentrate on refining your sweetened, water-style ninjutsu, and when you and Mio Chakra are able to master it, you can also borrowing the power of the three tails to defend against the enemy. More Kazama-sama, I will definitely swear to protect our Otogakur village in the future. Well, good. Kazama was also greatly relieved to hear Yukimaru's sworn assurance. Now his Otogakur village has not only grown in numbers, and there are 10 pagodas that can continuously improve the strength of the ninja. Now there is another three-tailed Jinchuiki column force. The current Otogakur village finally has the style of a big country ninja village. Finishing everything in Otogakur village, Kazama immediately returned to Konoha. After all, Sasuke was still trapped in Izanami by him. According to Kazama's expectations, after so long, Sasuke should have eliminated the darkness in his heart. Can come out of Izanami. But what the wind did not expect was that he now came to the residence of the Uchiha clan. Sasuke actually disappeared, and there was a mess everywhere. It appeared to be a fierce fight. At this moment, Naruto and Sakura also came here. Finally, you are finally back. Where's Sasuke? Hearing Kazama's question, Naruto and Sakura's expressions immediately turned heavy. Sasuke was taken away by a mysterious person, and Kakashi-sensei was also injured by this mysterious person, and it has not improved until now. Sakura burst into tears. Hurry up and take me to see Kakashi-sensei. Kazama has always regarded Kakashi as his idol, so he must not let Kakashi have anything to do. And if you want to know the identity of the mysterious man who took Sasuke away, you can only go through Kakashi. After all, Kakashi is the only person who has seen the mysterious person and played against the mysterious person. Tsunade-sama, Kakashi's injuries are too serious, I'm afraid. Shizune, who was working with Tsunade to heal Kakashi, shook his head helplessly. Damn it, never give up. As Tsunade said that, she strengthened her medical ninjutsu again, but she knew that doing so would not help. Because Kakashi's injury is really too serious. With only his current medical methods, he only saved Kakashi a sigh of relief. To make Kakashi come alive, he can only rely on the power of the sun in the wind. Is there any news from the wind room? No, there is no news of Kazama's return until now. Damn it, where did this kid go? I'm here. Just as Tsunade and Shizune were at a loss, a crisp voice immediately reached their ears. Accompanied by this voice, there is the power of young fire that came back to life. Chapter 130 Head-to-Head Black Zetsu and Obito. With the injection of the power of young fire in the wind, Kakashi, whose face was like golden paper in the last second, was sluggish. At this moment, Yuhi's face is already moist, and his breath is even, and he is obviously out of danger. Excellent. Seeing that Kakashi was finally saved, Tsunade and the others let out a sigh of relief. But Tsunade immediately complained in the wind. Where the hell have you gone, little brat? Don't you even care about your own teacher? Master Tsunade, did you get the order wrong? The teacher should take care of the students. Shizune said in a low voice immediately. Is this kid in the wind still taking care of him? Hearing Tsunade's reprimand, Kazama scratched his head in embarrassment. At this moment, Kakashi had regained consciousness. Fangjan, you brat is finally back, ahem. Although Kakashi's injuries have healed, he is still a little weak. Kakashi-sensei, who is it that hurt you so badly? Yeah, Kakashi, who are the people who wounded you and took Sasuke away? Quickly tell what they look like, and I'll let Anbu search for the enemy's trail. Hearing Kazama and Tsunade's eager inquiries, Kakashi immediately sighed helplessly. Actually, I didn't see their faces clearly, because one of them was completely dark and his facial features were very blurred, while the other was wearing a Uzumaki-like mask. As soon as I came into contact with them, I was possessed by that dark man. And attacked me, and the other person wearing the Uzumaki mask used the technique of space to take Sasuke away, and I didn't even have a chance to fight back. One has the ability to possess the body, and the other can perform space ninjutsu. Damn, what is the origin of these two enemies, and their strength is so terrifying. Hearing Kakashi's narration, Tsunade is also at a loss. Obviously she doesn't know the identities of the two. At this time, Kazama's brows were furrowed, because the Black Zetsu who possessed the ability to possess the body was the one Kakashi said was Black Zetsu. And the one who wears the Uzumaki mask and can perform space ninjutsu is Uchiha Obito. Unexpectedly, these two people took Sasuke away. No wonder Kakashi is not a rival. Kazama, do you know their identities? Just as Kazama was thinking about it, Tsunade immediately asked him. They are all members of Akatsuki. Akatsuki. Not bad. The one who can possess is Akatsuki's Black Zetsu, and the other is. Kazama said here and looked at Kakashi on the hospital bed. The other is a Fae, who is able to inhale himself and those who come into contact with him into a different dimension. Kazama didn't say Obito's name. Because he knows that Kakashi, who has always regarded Obito as his best friend, must not accept this fact. Kazama, since you know so much about these two people, then you will direct the next action to rescue Sasuke, but the biggest problem now is to find the traces of these two people. It's easy, I'll find it right away. Before Tsunade could finish speaking, Kazama immediately cast the Hiraishin technique. Because he had already planted his mark on Black Zetsu. While he can't necessarily find Obito, he can definitely find Black Zetsu. Is it okay to hide Sasuke here? In a hidden place, Black Zetsu looked at Sasuke who was unconscious in front of him, still a little worried about being discovered. Don't worry. As Obito said that, he checked Sasuke's situation. And it's been 3 days since we captured Sasuke. During these 3 days, we have changed many places in a row. It's impossible for Konoha to find our whereabouts. I'm not worried about the rest of Konoha, except for this kid Sanada Kazama. Don't worry, unless he's a god, it's impossible to find our hiding place. Not necessarily. At this moment, Kazama who used Hiraishin's technique appeared behind Black Zetsu. Chapter 131 Kill Obito. Black Zetsu. Almost at the same moment Kazama appeared, Black Zetsu invaded Sasuke's body in an instant. Mental fusion. Damn. Kazama, who originally wanted to attack Black Zetsu, had to stop attacking immediately. Because now Black Zetsu and Sasuke have merged into one. His attacks on Black Zetsu will hit Sasuke. Boy, we have long known that you are not easy to deal with, so we made this plan. Black Zetsu, who possessed Sasuke, immediately burst out laughing. If we can't find our whereabouts, we can take the opportunity to use Sasuke and let Sasuke become our Akatsuki's weapon. This is Plan A. At this moment, Obito, who was beside him, also walked in front of Kazama. But now that I have found you, it looks like your plan failed. Not bad. Even in the face of the sudden appearance of the wind, Obito remained extremely calm. That's why we use Plan B, that is, let Black Zetsu possess Sasuke, so that you lose the opportunity to rob Sasuke, and then let me solve you. As Obito said that, he took out an iron chain and put it on his 2 wrists. Is it the same as the move against the 4th generation back then? Seeing Obito's move, Kazama immediately smiled inwardly. Although Obito's Kamui is a bit tricky, since Kazama knows Obito's abilities, he already has a countermeasure. Koto Amatsukami. Kazama didn't choose to fight Obito for a long time. Instead, he immediately cast the strongest demonic illusion in an attempt to control Obito. But what Kazama didn't expect was that the Koto Amatsukami, which he had done before, was now ineffective. No wonder you made Kakuzu and Hidan kill each other, it turned out to be Koto Amatsukami. Looking at the surprised Kazama, Obito immediately sneered. Kazama, do you really think we're not fully prepared for us to lead you here? Although your Koto Amatsukami is hard to guard against, when your Koto Amatsukami is against Black Zetsu, it's useless, so here it is. I have been integrated into the cells of Black Zetsu before, and now I, Sasuke, Black Zetsu here, you can no longer be controlled by Koto Amatsukami, the only thing waiting for you is death. Quote. It was too late, and Obito rushed to Kazama in an instant. However, Obito's movements are fast, but in front of Kazama who has Mangekyo Sharingan, he has long seen Obito's movements. So Kazama's kunai with the mark of Hiraishin shot at Obito. It's useless. Kamui's Obito and immediately passed through this kunai. Boy, I accept your Mangekyo Sharingan. Just when Obito was about to touch the wind, Kazama's body suddenly disappeared, and the next moment he appeared above Obito. Rasengan. Obito, who became materialized by the attack, was immediately knocked to the ground by the Rasengan of Kazama. How is this possible? Not to mention Obito's surprise at this point, even Black Zetsu, who was watching the battle, was full of disbelief. Because he had clearly seen that Obito was about to succeed. But why was Kazama caught the flaw in the next moment? And Black Zetsu knew that Kazama had never seen Obito and never knew Obito's strength. Judging from the battle between the two now, Kazama is clearly aware of Obito's abilities. Thinking of this, Black Zetsu could not help breaking out in a cold sweat. Chapter 132 Acquire the Art of Double Kamui. How can you see my abilities? Obito never expected it, but in just one round, he was knocked to the ground by the wind. Had always heard Black Zetsu say how powerful Kazama was, but he still didn't believe it. But now that he saw it with his own eyes, he finally believed it. And this trick of yours? This move of mine is exactly the same move that the fourth generation used to deal with you, right? Uchiha Obito. What? Hearing Kazama say his name, Obito was taken aback again. Kazama's ability to see through his own abilities and strike them alone was enough to make it difficult for Obito to execute. Now that Kazama has spoken his name again, Obito has to sigh that Kazama's ability has surpassed himself by too much. Not only do you know my true identity, but you even know how I fought with the fourth generation. Who are you? Although Kazama couldn't see Obito's expression under the mask. But from Obito's trembling tone, Kazama already felt Obito's fear. I'm just a regular Konoha genin and the Kakashi student who sees you as his best friend, so stop it Obito. You're being used by Black Zetsu. You bastard, Obito is going to kill him. Seeing that Kazama was about to sabotage his plan, Black Zetsu on the side was furious. No matter how you know my identity, no matter how much your Hiraishin technique has surpassed 4 generations, in short, those who try to persuade me without understanding my pain, all should be damned. I have fallen into hell, and now I want you also taste the taste of being in hell. Kamui. With Obito's roar, Kazama was immediately dragged into the different space by him. Ding! Successfully absorbed Space Ninjutsu Kamui. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the power of Super S-level Ninjutsu Double Kamui. This technique can not only incarnate oneself, but also remotely use Space Ninjutsu to attack the enemy. But Obito didn't know that Kazama could absorb the opponent's attack and use it. Is it resolved? Seeing Obito appearing from another dimension, Black Zetsu hurriedly asked. He has been locked in a different dimension by me, and he will have to wait to die from now on. Humph. It took a lot of work to kill this kid Kazama, but that's fine, no one will be able to hinder our plan in the future. As long as I am here, your plans will never succeed. What? Just when Obito and Black Zetsu thought that Kazama would be trapped in a different space forever. Suddenly I saw Fengjun actually came out from a distorted space. How is this possible? Without the power of Kamui, how could you possibly escape from my other dimension? Looking at the sudden appearance of Kazama, Obito took a few steps back in shock. No one has ever so frightened Obito. But there is no doubt that Kazama did it. Come on Obito, your magic won't work for me at all, Kamui. Kazama said the Kamui technique on Obito and Black Zetsu who possessed Sasuke at the same time. Left Eye Kamui disrupts Obito's space art, hindering Obito's movements. The Kamui of the right eye is used to strip Black Zetsu from Sasuke. Kazama thought that as long as Black Zetsu was successfully stripped from Sasuke, you can use the technique of Hiraishin to take Sasuke away. But Kazama underestimated Black Zetsu's ability to possess. At this time, Black Zetsu has completely merged with Sasuke. With the use of his Kamui, Sasuke's body has been pulled out of blood. Chapter 133 Let Black Zetsu capture Sasuke on purpose. Boy, don't blame me for not reminding you. If it goes on like this, Sasuke will be torn apart by you, haha. Hearing Black Zetsu's words, I saw that Sasuke's body had indeed been cracked. Kazama had no choice but to temporarily stop Kamui. At this moment, Sasuke, who had been trapped in Izanami, opened his eyes. Sasuke, have you escaped from Izanami? Kazama knew that this was not the control of Black Zetsu, but Sasuke's own actions, so he was overjoyed. Because as long as Sasuke can get out of Izanami, that shows that Sasuke has gotten rid of the darkness, recognized himself clearly, and will never be used by others again. But the next moment Sasuke's words turned Kazama from surprise to shock. It wasn't me, it was Black Zetsu who helped me get rid of Izanami. Oops. Hearing Sasuke's words, Kazami felt bad. Because if Sasuke is halfway out of Izanami's infinite loop, that would make the darkness in his heart stronger than ever. Although Izanami is an art that decides fate, it is God who can decide her own destiny, but the devil who cannot decide her own destiny. This is the crux of Izanami's so-called forbidden technique. Kazama, in the Tsukuyomi and Izanami that you cast on me, I didn't see a shred of light, all I saw was the evil deeds of Konoha who killed my Uchiha clan, so Itachi killed the Uchiha clan, and Konoha who started it. And you bastard who manipulates my fate at will, I'm doomed. Well said Sasuke, don't worry, with the help of our Akatsuki, your wish will definitely come true, haha. Black Zetsu immediately took Sasuke and disappeared along with Obito. Looking at the backs of the three leaving, Kazama, who should have been angry, immediately sneered. Because Black Zetsu took Sasuke just as Kazama thought. It turned out that the darkness in Sasuke's heart was already expected by Kazama. Tsukuyomi and Izanami on Sasuke, but they failed to make Sasuke abandon his shadow. So now it's just a matter of scheming, allowing Sasuke to be used by Black Zetsu. Kazama knew that Akatsuki was in desperate need of manpower because he was preparing to start the Fourth Ninja War. Therefore, they will definitely not hurt Sasuke, but instead make Sasuke become stronger rapidly. In the future, as long as you collect all 9-tailed beasts, you will gain the power of the Six Paths Fairy. Will free Sasuke from Black Zetsu's control. Since Sasuke will not be life-threatening, and can become stronger, why not do it in the wind? So he immediately used a secret technique to notify Itachi. After all, Itachi was Sasuke's older brother, even though Kazama knew that Sasuke would not be in danger. But in the end, he had to tell Itachi about it. What? Sasuke is being controlled by Black Zetsu. Not bad. Hearing the words of the wind, Itachi froze in place. I can't believe that Black Zetsu is so powerful that it can take Sasuke from you. Actually, Black Zetsu's strength is not superb, but if you want to kill it, I really can't do it for a while. But Itachi, don't worry, Black Zetsu just uses Sasuke to strengthen Akatsuki's strength, so it won't hurt Sasuke's life, on the contrary, will make Sasuke become stronger rapidly, and we can come to a plan. Just count. Hearing the words of the wind, Itachi was greatly puzzled. Yes, that is to say, we use Black Zetsu's ability to make Sasuke stronger, and then I will seal Black Zetsu at the right time and ask Sasuke to control it, so we can kill two birds with one stone. Well, you're right. Hearing Kazama's plan, Itachi also agreed. Weasel. Deidara. Sasori. At this moment, Deidara and Sasori also came here for some reason. Because these three people do not know each other's true identity. They were worried that the relationship between their Hefeng would be exposed, so they immediately killed the other party. Don't panic, the three are your own. My own person. Hearing Kazama's words, Itachi, Deidara and Sasori immediately looked at me and I looked at you. All three of them looked at each other. Chapter 134 Hanging Impure World Reincarnation Hidan and Kakuzu. Itachi, Deidara and Sasori are all my companions, you just don't know each other. Hearing Kazama's words, Itachi was even more surprised at Kazama's ability. By the way, why did you two suddenly appear here? Seeing the sudden appearance of Deidara and Sasori, Kazama was puzzled. Although he controlled them with Koto Amatsukami, but he didn't summon them now, how did they know they were here? The leader of Akatsuki, Pain, seems to have discovered that Itachi secretly leaked Akatsuki's information, so he notified the two of us. Let's see who Itachi is in contact with, so we will find this place. What? Knowing that he had been suspected, Itachi was naturally surprised. Don't worry, after the two of you, Sasori and Deidara, go back, just tell Pain Itachi that you didn't reveal Akatsuki's information. That's fine, but will Pain believe it? Pain is good to say, the real one to watch out for is Black Zetsu. Itachi already knew about Black Zetsu's abilities, so he wasn't shocked either. But Sasori and Deidara have always ignored Black Zetsu. Therefore, after hearing Kazama's words now, he was naturally surprised. From now on in Akatsuki you have to be careful of two people, one is Black Zetsu and the other is Afe. Afe has only recently joined Akatsuki. Kazama-sama, you actually know this, but this Afe looks like a god, does he have such a powerful strength? Yes, Akatsuki is by no means as simple as it looks on the surface. There are a lot of inside stories that I can't tell you in a while. In short, since the three of you know each other's identities, you will take care of each other in Akatsuki in the future. As for I will deal with Black Zetsu, Afe, and Pain one by one. In fact, Kazama initially planned to tell Itachi, Deidara and Sasori the true situation of Akatsuki. But Pain and Obito are the people he wants to fight next. Therefore, in order not to let anything happen during this period, Kazama didn't tell the three of them in detail. Kazama returned to Konoha immediately after parting with Itachi. Told Tsunade that he had decided to let Black Zetsu take Sasuke away. Tsunade couldn't understand Kazama's strategy for a while. But since it was proposed by Kazama, she believed that Kazama must have her own reason. After all, she trusts the wind very much. At this moment, an Anbu ninja immediately came to Tsunade's side. When Tsunade heard the news from this Anbu ninja, he directly smashed the table in front of him. What's wrong? It was the first time Kazama saw Tsunade make such a big fire. There is news from the fire temple that the land guarding the 12 ninjas has been killed, and the Asuma class who went to catch the murderer is also in danger. What? Impossible. Hearing Tsunade's words, Kazama was taken aback. Kakuzu and Hidan who committed the murders in the Temple of Fire. But he had already dealt with them a long time ago. Why are these two people still appearing in the Temple of Fire now? Tsunade-sama, please allow me to go to support Asuma right away. Kazama knew that it would not be long before Asuma was killed by Hidan, so he had to go to the rescue. Good. Tsunade breathed a sigh of relief when Kazama came to support him. Tsunade is very clear about Kazama's strength. As long as there is wind, all problems can be solved. Haha, Bearded, can you really kill me because you can? Now I will let you accept the punishment of the evil god. At this time, it was Hidan and Kakuzu, who had been killed by Kazama long ago. It's just that these two are not immortal, but have been resurrected by impure world reincarnation. Kaden, Fire Style, Ashes. Susano. Just when Asuma was about to attack Hidan in the circle. The attack was suddenly interrupted by a large golden hand. And Hidan was blasted out of the circle by another big golden hand. Chapter 135 Gain the ability to control impure world reincarnation. Sure enough, impure world reincarnation. Kazama was shocked when he saw Kakuzu and Hidan here. Master Impure World Reincarnation only has Orochimaru and Yakushi Kabuto. Now that Orochimaru has surrendered to me, it must be Yakushi Kabuto who will resurrect Kakuzu and Hidan. Fangjan, why are you here? Just as Kazama was thinking about it, Asuma, Shikamaru and the others immediately questioned him. I said Kazama, why did you interrupt my Kaden fire style? Aren't you the enemy? Because the enemy has the ability to retaliate. If your Kaden fire style hits him, then you will be killed. What? Hearing Kazama's words, Asuma and the others were shocked. That guy's name is Hidan. Have you seen the formation under his feet? No matter how you attack him within that formation, the final damage will bounce back on you. No wonder this guy named Hidan can't dodge and let me attack. Asuma was already in a cold sweat at the moment. You little bastard, we originally wanted to find you, but I didn't expect you to come to the door by yourself. Seeing Kazama's appearance, Hidan immediately burst out laughing. Xiaoza Mao, when you killed me in Kumogakure village, today I will make you pay for your debts with blood, new hatred and old hatred together. As Hidan said that, he swung the death scythe and killed it towards the wind. But before he could get close, he was caught in the air by Susanoo's big golden hand. Bastard, put me down now. As long as you are out of the formation, you can't pose any threat, so just leave me alone for now. Bastard, if you have the ability to put me down, I will fight you for 3,000 rounds. Kazama ignored Hidan's clamor at all, and immediately looked at Kakuzu, another impure world reincarnation. Although you got the kill order right, I'm not what I used to be now. As Kakuzu said that, he summoned the 5 hearts of wind, thunder, water, fire, and earth in his body. The so-called impure world reincarnation means that I now have unlimited chakra, unlimited physical strength, and a body that will never be destroyed, so now you will definitely lose. What? Is this true? Asuma, Shikamaru and the others who were sheltered by Susanoo were shocked when they heard Kakuzu's words. Although they knew about impure world reincarnation before, they had never fought against impure world reincarnation's ninjas. Naturally, it is not clear how powerful the people of impure world reincarnation are. It doesn't seem like it's fake listening to the other party's tone. If that's the case, then the wind will be in danger. Yeah, unlimited chakra and a body that won't be destroyed, these 2 points are enough to be invincible. How can you fight? Fuck it, kid, ha ha. As Kakuzu shouted angrily, his 5 hearts of wind, thunder, water, fire and earth turned into a monster, and immediately launched an attack on Kazama. Koto Amatsukami. And Kazama cast the strongest demonic illusion Koto Amatsukami on Kakuzu in an attempt to control him again. But what Kazama didn't expect was that his own Koto Amatsukami didn't work for Kakuzu, which surprised Kazama. Could it be? Kazama hurriedly used the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan to look inside Kakuzu. Sure enough, it contains the cells of Black Zetsu. It seems that Yakushi Kabuto has cooperated with Black Zetsu, otherwise he would not know how to resist my Koto Amatsukami. Just when Kazama hated himself for not being able to kill Yakushi Kabuto earlier, Kakuzu's attack had already roared. Firestorm. Strange face explosion. The grudge final shooting. Little Misty, let's see how I abuse you this time. Kazama is not afraid of Kakuzu's crazy attacks, but it's not the way to go on like this. If I absorb the attacks of the impure world reincarnation, will I acquire a skill that can restrain the impure world reincarnation? Thinking of this, Kazama immediately rushed towards Kakuzu's attack. Ding! Absorbing the impure world reincarnation attack successfully. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the power of impure world reincarnation. This technique can directly seize the control of impure world reincarnation. Great! This is what I've been waiting for. Kazama was overjoyed to see that he had the ability to take control of Impure World Reincarnation. Chapter 136 Let Kakuzu and Hidan be my thugs. Okay, little miscellaneous hair, you really dare to absorb my attack. Well, I will kill you today. The wind and waves, the strange faces bursting with flames. As Kakuzu said that, he attacked Kazama again. Bone Spirit Cold Fire. Kakuzu's Kaden fire style was instantly frozen into ice as the fire of Kazama was cast. Then Kazama placed his palm on Kakuzu's body at lightning speed. Ding! Successfully took control of Kakuzu. Go and chop Hidan to pieces for me. What? You? Kakuzu didn't know what was going on at this time. His body involuntarily killed Hidan. Kakuzu, you bastard. Last time I attacked you, this time you attacked me again, did you fucking mean it? Hidan was about to dodge, but was thrown in front of Kakuzu by Susanoo of Kazama. Then he was instantly smashed into slag by Kakuzu's 5-element escape technique. I don't want to attack you either, but this little brat in the wind has controlled me, what can I do? A hidden place thousands of miles away. Damn, didn't you say that if you fuse my cells, you won't get hit with Kazama's Kotoamatsukami? Why is Kakuzu still controlled by Kazama? After Black Zetsu saw the battle situation on Yakushi Kabuto's board, he immediately cursed at Yakushi Kabuto. I said Black Zetsu, but you told me at the beginning that as long as you fuse your cells, you can restrain the Kotoamatsukami of Kazama. Now that Kakuzu is controlled by Kazama, you should find the reason in you. The face of Yakushi Kabuto's unceremonious reply, Black Zetsu suddenly became speechless. Then what should we do next? I think it's better to withdraw Hidan as soon as possible, otherwise if he is also controlled by Kazama, wouldn't our chess pieces be wasted? Don't worry, I will strengthen the control of Hidan next. I don't believe that this little stray hair in the wind can continue to control, what? At this moment, Yakushi Kabuto exclaimed immediately, and cold sweat broke out on his forehead. What's wrong? Could it be? Black Zetsu said and looked at the Impure World Reincarnation board. Damn it, why is Hidan being controlled? As surprised by Black Zetsu and Yakushi Kabuto. At this time, Hidan, like Kakuzu, was taken over by Kazama. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully performing the Impure World Reincarnation seizing technique for the first time. Reward the host with the Impure World Reincarnation Enhancement Technique, which can strengthen the controlled person to the strength of his life. Amazing! Hearing the system's words, Kazama felt even more happy. Because the people who came out of the Impure World Reincarnation are weaker than they were before they were alive. And now there is this Impure World Reincarnation Enhancement Technique. Then Kazama will be able to use all the strengths of Kakuzu and Hidan during their lifetime. 100% strength in life, immortal body, infinite chakra, Yakushi Kabuto, Black Zetsu, you have found two good helpers for me, haha. At this time, Kazama smiled and sucked Kakuzu and Hidan from Impure World Reincarnation into his Kamui space. Is this solved? Seeing Kazama beat Kakuzu and Hidan so easily. Asuma, Shikamaru and others were all surprised and deeply admired. Because if they were to deal with these two immortals, Kakuzu and Hidan who possessed infinite chakra, I'm afraid they will be beheaded if they face each other. This kid Kazama, I think he already has the strength of Cage level now. Compared with him, my Jonin is simply a waste. Looking at Kazama who was stretching, Asuma murmured immediately. This guy is obviously at the same level as me, but now he has left me 108,000 miles away, this guy in the wind is really a monster. Shikamaru also shook his head helplessly at this time. Kazama has long been accustomed to the surprise of everyone. And what he is most concerned about now is how his Kotoamatsukami can break through the resistance of the Black Zetsu cells. Chapter 137 Infiltrated successfully. No, you are exposed. Otherwise, a good and strongest demonic illusion, wouldn't it be used by myself? System, is there any way I can get my Kotoamatsukami to control Black Zetsu? advanced level to Rinnegan, and then absorb Senjuhashirama's cells, so that you can control the person who has black Zetsu cells, but still can't control the black Zetsu body. The host only has 9-tailed beasts, and has the power of 6 paths immortals. Only then can black Zetsu be completely sealed. Quote. Hashirama's cells can find Orochimaru, because he has injected Danzo before, so he should be very experienced. As for Rinnegan, he can only sneak into the village of Omegakure to find Nagato. Just when Kazama was about to leave for Omegakure village, he suddenly saw Tsunade coming here to participate in Hokage-sama. After seeing Asuma, Shikamaru and others, they hurried to pay homage to them. Has the enemy been resolved? It's resolved. If it wasn't for Funyun's action, I'm afraid we would really die at the hands of the enemy. Hearing the words of Asuma, Shikamaru and others, Tsunade immediately nodded happily at Kazama. You guys go back to Konoha first. I have something to do with Kazama. What's wrong, Tsunade-sama? Are you going to reward me alone? After seeing everyone leave, Kazama asked Tsunade with a smile. Kaz, I hope you can promise me one thing. Tsunade was about to kneel when he said that, which surprised Kazama, so he hurried forward and pulled Tsunade up. I said, Tsunade-sama, you are our Hokage from Konoha, how can you kneel to me? You can say anything, as long as I can do it, I will never refuse. Although Kazama said so, but in his heart, Tsunade knelt down to him was very strange. What is the most important thing to make Tsunade pull down on his knees? That's it. Jiraiya suspected that Omegakure village was the birthplace of Akatsuki, so one person sneaked in, but if Omegakure village is really Akatsuki's lair, how could Jiraiya alone be their opponent? I know the wind, you are very powerful, so I want to invite you to Omegakure village to help Jiraiya. What do you think? Tsunade knew that although Kazama has cage-level power now, his identity is still genin. Therefore, Kazama had every reason to refuse such an S-class mission. If that's the case, even as Hokage, she can't forcefully interfere. If the wind room does not go, I am afraid that Jiraiya's life will be at risk. Why Tsunade knelt down to Kazama, hoping Kazama could go to Omegakure village to rescue Jiraiya. What did I think it was? Hearing Tsunade's words, Kazama immediately laughed secretly in his heart. Okay, I agree. Really? Hearing Kazama so happy, he agreed, and Tsunade burst into tears of joy. Anyway, Kazama planned to go to Omegakure village to absorb Nagato's Rinnegan's power. Now that Tsunade has come to beg him, it's just a matter of being a favored man. Don't worry, Kazama, with your current strength and the credit for helping Konoha many times, you will be the 6th generation Hokage in the future. I will definitely recommend you to the top management. I can't believe that a favor has been exchanged for the position of Hokage, not bad. Hearing Tsunade's promise, Kazama immediately nodded happily. Don't worry, Tsunade-sama, I will definitely bring back Jiraiya-sama safely. Kazama said, and then he used the instant technique to disappear. Successful infiltrating is surprisingly easy. Jiraiya said proudly after crawling out of the toad's mouth. You're exposed, Jiraiya-sama. What? As soon as Jiraiya sneaked into Omegakure village, he heard a voice behind him. Chapter 138 Rain, did I let you down? Stop. He was so frightened that he immediately turned around and attacked the person, but when he saw the appearance of the person, he let out a sigh of relief. Kazama, what did I say? You were stalking me? And what did you mean when you said I was exposed? It means that the rain in this Omegakure village is not natural, but man-made. As long as we are touched by the rain, the leader of the Omegakure village will know that we have sneaked in, which means that now you and I are all exposed. No. Hearing Kazama's words, Jiraiya was taken aback. Then what should I do? Originally, I wanted to secretly search Akatsuki's situation, and I said that you knew we were exposed. How could you be so relaxed? Seeing Kazama's composure, Jiraiya was very surprised. Moreover, the village of Omegakure, which he didn't even know, was so familiar to Kazama, and he even knew the techniques used by the enemy. Jiraiya suddenly felt that the power of the wind was monstrous and unfathomable. It will be exposed sooner or later anyway, it doesn't matter if it is exposed early. Kazama said and summoned Yuhi Lotus Karma. I rely on. Jiraiya's nosebleed suddenly spewed out like a waterfall after seeing Yuhi's lotus cremation. He has never seen such a sexy yet dignified, coquettish yet lovely peerless beauty. Beauty, you. Go away. Just as Jiraiya was about to start a conversation, she was knocked to the ground by Huonu. Fengjian laughed immediately after seeing it. He had known for a long time that the fire slave that Yuhi Lianye Huo turned into was short-tempered and would definitely attack Jiraiya, a big lecher. I said, Fengjian, did you do it on purpose? Why are you calling her so politely? Jiraiya immediately hid behind Kazama, not daring to face Huonu again. Because the enemy is coming soon, instead of fighting in the heavy rain, it is better to make the sky a little clearer. Yuhi Lotus Karma Fire, evaporate all the rain in the sky. As ordered. Although Huonu has an arrogant temperament, he is obedient to Kazama's orders. What, does she have that much talent? Seeing Kazama order Yuhi Lotus Karma to evaporate the pouring rain in the sky, Jiraiya is deeply incredulous. What's wrong with Nagato? At this moment, Nagato, the leader of a Megakure village, immediately discovered the existence of Jiraiya Hefeng. Someone has infiltrated a Megakure village, and one of them has more chakra than a cage-level master. What? Hearing Nagato's words, Konan on the side couldn't help being taken aback. After all, their Megakure village had never infiltrated such a powerful master before. I will cast a spell to stop the rain now. You go to find out the identity of the person who came, and I will send Heavenly Path to support you. Good. It was the first time Konan had seen Nagato be so cautious. After all, Heavenly Path was the strongest of the Pain Six Paths. In the past, to deal with enemies such as invasions, they were only defended by the Animal Path or the Asura Path. But now Nagato has sent Heavenly Path from the very beginning, which shows that the strength of the incoming person is difficult even for Nagato. How is this possible? Just when Nagato was about to cast a spell to stop the heavy rain. Suddenly I saw that the sky of a Megakure village was surrounded by a flame of Yuhi color. The scorching high temperature instantly evaporated all the rain in the sky. This. At this time, Jiraiya, who was beside Kazama, saw the power of Yuhi's lotus fire with his own eyes, and he slumped on the ground in shock. Although Jiraiya has countless experiences, she has never seen a Kaden, fire style, who can cover the entire village. Chapter 139 Hang Konan. You really are a monster. Just when Jiraiya was shocked, Nagato immediately sent out the animal realm, the hungry ghost realm, the human realm, the Shira realm, and the hell realm. Followed Konan to the place where Kazama and Jiraiya appeared. Yuhi-colored flames that covered the entire village just now. Nagato knew that it was difficult to deal with incoming people, so he had to let all six paths participate in the battle. But Nagato didn't know that even if the six paths all participated in the battle, they were not necessarily Kazama's opponents. Konan. With Konan's first appearance, Rai was taken aback. Because he didn't know that the leader of a Megakure village was actually Nagato and Konan, his apprentices. Mr. Jiraiya, long time no see. At this time, Konan obviously had no intention of reminiscing with Jiraiya, and the first shot was a killer move. Paper rain. I saw the two pairs of wings behind Konan, and immediately shot out sharp blade-like pieces of paper. The two of them directly towards Jiraiya Hefeng. Damn. When Jiraiya saw it, she hurriedly tried to fight back. Then he was protected by Susanoo in the wind. Kazama, what are you doing? Why don't you let me attack? I promised Tsunade-sama that I would bring you back to Konoha alive, so I'll be the one to do it. HMPH. I'm not young, but my tone is not small. Konan didn't take Kazama in his eyes at all. But she didn't know that the master who surpassed cage-level Nagato felt was Kazama. Blast. With Conan's hand seal, the papers that attacked Jiraiya Hefeng were all detonated. And Jiraiya is safe because he is protected by Susanoo. But Kazama was hit by all the remaining explosions. Fixed one, then it's up to you, Mr. Jiraiya. I'd be embarrassed if only Jiraiya were in your eyes. How is this possible? Just when Conan thought that Kazejian was sure to die, he suddenly saw the gunpowder smoke coming out from the explosion. And there was no scar on his body. Only then did Conan know that the hundreds of detonating talismans he had just now did not cause any damage to Kazama. Ding! Successfully absorbed the paper rain. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the paper spear technique. Conan, I'll show you my paper escape next. Where the wind raised his hand, a spear formed by countless pieces of paper instantly took shape. You actually know my ninjutsu. Seeing that Kazama used his unique paper escape, and he had already killed himself, Conan ignored the shock in his heart and hurriedly used a paper shield to defend. But just when Conan thought he could block the blow, however, he found that the paper spear attacking him instantly turned into a fire spear. It actually contains Kaiden fire style in the paper escape. Conan hurriedly gave up the defense of the paper shield and retreated continuously, thus avoiding getting burned. Not bad. Since your best ninjutsu is paper escape, then you are being restrained by me now, because my ninjutsu is Kaiden fire style majestic destroyer flame, great fire annihilation. The monstrous flames immediately surrounded Conan. So you are the master who surpassed Cage level. With just these two moves in the wind, Conan has already seen that he is by no means a match for someone coming. I couldn't help but secretly hate myself for being too careless and underestimating the enemy before. But even if she did not underestimate the enemy, she was not the opponent of the wind. Because in the face of absolute strength, any resistance is useless. Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign. Just then, Pain 6 Paths finally arrived. Chapter 140 Kill the Hell in the World. A powerful repulsive force immediately bounced off the majestic destroyer flame, great fire annihilation that surrounded Conan. Even Jiraiya, who was protected by Susanoo below, was thrown hundreds of meters away. Damn it! Is this the strength of the leader of Akatsuki? It's so terrifying. Seeing the appearance of Pain 6 Paths, Jiraiya suddenly felt that without Kazama's help, she would definitely die this time. Because the Shinra Tensei Almighty Push levy alone was enough to bring him down. At this time, Kazama was safe from Shinra Tensei Almighty Push attack. Didn't even move a single step, and also managed to absorb the power of Shinra Tensei Almighty Push. Ding! Successfully absorbed the Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Super Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign. Is this the one that destroyed Konoha? Kazama was overjoyed when he saw that he had obtained this Super Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign, and immediately wanted to try it. Now he just wants to absorb the ability of Pain 6 Paths, while hanging Pain 6 Paths, and then use this to lead Nagato out. Because only by absorbing the power of Rinnegan from Nagato's main body, Kazama can obtain Rinnegan's pupil technique. You are immune to my Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign. Seeing Kazama actually standing still, not to mention Nagato who launched the attack couldn't believe it. Even Jiraiya on the side was dumbfounded. Jiraiya knows the terrifying power of the Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign just now. If it weren't for Susanoo's protection, he would have to be maimed if he didn't die. Kazama was able to ignore this Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign. Jiraiya suddenly felt that this legendary Sannin was a joke in front of the wind. Jiraiya-sama. Just when Jiraiya was shocked, she suddenly heard the sound of Kazama in front of her. Okay, don't say anything in the wind, I know what you're going to do next, I'll run. Jiraiya fled from here in a flash. I'm afraid the whole Omegakure village will be razed to the ground if I use the Super Shinra Tensei Almighty Push levy. In order not to hurt the innocent, I'll use the normal Shinra Tensei Almighty Push levy. Thinking of this, Kazama looked at Conan and Pain in the sky and smiled coldly. Then came the words that shocked Conan and Nagato behind the scenes. Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push, sign. Boom. With Kazama's Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push, sign, Conan and Pain were caught off guard and were knocked over in an instant. Pain Six Paths, the self-proclaimed god, seems so embarrassed at the moment. Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push, sign. Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push, sign. Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push, sign. But before Pain Six Paths and Conan could react, Kazama used 3 consecutive Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push, signs again. If the Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push, campaign just now shocked Nagato and Conan. Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push, signs that Kazama has been performing in a row has made Nagato and Conan unbelievable. Because even if Nagato casts the Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push, sign by himself, there needs to be a certain time interval. But Kazama was able to perform continuously. How could this not shock Nagato and Conan? As expected of the monster-like genius Sanada Kazama, he is actually so powerful. As Akatsuki's leader, Nagato naturally knew Kazama's identity. I also know that Kazuma has beaten Akatsuki many times before. But he never expected that even himself, who possessed the power of Rinnegan Six Paths, would be defeated by the wind. Now, after just a few rounds, his hell and human realms have been destroyed by Kazama's 3 consecutive Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push, expeditions. It seems that this guy Kazama can absorb ninjutsu and use it, but even if you can absorb ninjutsu, you will definitely not be able to absorb this cannonball attack that transcends the existence of the ninja world, Shira Road. With Nagato's roar, Shira Road under his control immediately launched an attack on Kazama. Fantastic Bomb Fire Arrow. Asura Road's wrist was like the cannonball, and he immediately charged towards the wind. Is this the one that sent Jiraiya to death? Too bad it didn't work for me. Ding! I succeeded in absorbing the fire arrow from the strange bullet. Congratulations to the host for getting the 5-fingered missile. Kazama immediately separated his wrist from his arm, and pulled out a string of shells from the arm incision, which was a frenzied bombardment at Shira Road.